and so has the president.
Wait till I...
Republican leaders are plotting a full-throated effort.
안녕하세요. 매일매일 운동하기를 실천하고 있는 동탄 왕코입니다. 카메라가 조금 뭐가 중요해. 와, 진짜 여기 날씨 대박. 오늘 확진자가 좀 줄었죠. 80명대로. 와, 근데 날씨가 너무 좋아요. 어떻게 이런 날에 집에만 있어. 안 그렇습니까? 날씨가 너무 좋네요. 구름 하나 없어, 구름 하나. 미세먼지는 약간 있는 것 같아요. 저 끝이 약간 뽀해. 자, 운동하겠습니다. 팔굽혀펴기랑 복근도 위주로 할게요. 역시 운동할 땐 CNN.
Some endangered Republicans, like North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, took the opposite position in 2016.
We're going to let the American people speak.
Yet moving ahead before November could squeeze Republicans like Cory Gardner, running for re-election in Democratic-leaning Colorado. Gardner's office did not respond to questions about whether the winner of November's elections should make the hugely consequential pick. It typically takes between 2 to 3 months to confirm a Supreme Court nominee, meaning it would be much faster than usual to approve a replacement before November. Yet if a vote slips until after the November elections during a lame duck session of Congress, there's another complication if Arizona's appointed Senator Martha McSally loses in November. That would mean the Democrat Mark Kelly could be sworn in by the end of that month, bringing the GOP majority down to 52-48. So McConnell has little margin for error, and several senators are uncommitted, like Utah's Mitt Romney. And some senators in the past have been wary about election year confirmation, like Senator Chuck Grassley, who, as chairman of the Judiciary Committee, for Obama's nominee in 2016. He told CNN in July,
If I were chairman of the committee, I could move forward with it.
On Saturday, his office declined to say if that was still his position. Others have clearly shifted theirs, including
와우, 날씨 너무 좋다
who now
진짜.
chairs the Judiciary Committee and said this
아유, 날씨
in
너무 좋네요
2016.
진짜.
Let's let the next president do it.
빨리 코로나가 끝나서
Make that nomination and you
다들
can use
놀러도
powers
가고
against me.
여행도
Now, Lindsey
가시고.
Graham explains himself this way. He basically says that things have changed since 2018 in the aftermath of that vicious Supreme Court fight that got Brett Kavanaugh confirmed to the court. He says he views all this differently now, but if the Republicans do move ahead, Senate Democrats have their own plans. They're talking about that right now. They had a conference call on Saturday afternoon in which Chuck Schumer told his caucus that all options are on the table if the Republicans do advance a nomination this fall. And one of those options that Democrats are discussing, potentially expanding the Supreme Court, maybe going from 9 justices to 11 justices, or even more than that. They would need legislation to do that. And to pass such legislation, they would have to change the Senate filibuster rules. And to do that, of course, they need to win the Senate majority first in the fall. So much is on the line this fall, this fall's election. But Democrats are indicating they're not going to take this fight lying down. Manu Raju, CNN, Capitol Hill.
Now, one of the leading Democrats in the Senate says filling Ginsburg's seat is about more than politics. Senator Dick Durbin telling CNN the stakes for the court and the country are very high.
This is just not a political squabble among the big shots in Washington. What's at stake here is the future of the Supreme Court on issues like health insurance covering pre-existing conditions. One of the first cases the Supreme Court will take up. Basic choice questions for women's rights moving forward in the wake of losing one of the leaders in our history in terms of forcing the debate in America on women's rights. So it goes way beyond differences between politicians. I can tell you we have a number of senators on both sides of the aisle who are up for re-election. They're going to hear it at home. This is going to change the conversation in many of these senatorial contests. And some of them may have second thoughts about reversing and changing the very position that they were arguing for 4 years ago.
But wait, say some Republicans, they argue that the circumstances are not the same as 4 years ago when they said a new justice shouldn't be picked until after the election. CNN political commentator Scott Jennings defended the change of heart to our Chris Quinn.
You did have different parties in power, so that voters in 2016, leading up to that vacancy, had delivered mixed messages. You had Democrats in charge of one institution and Republicans in charge of the other. In this case, Republicans, the voters have awarded them control of both and reaffirmed that control in the Senate in 2018. And look, the Constitution does not give the president the power to nominate this and the Senate to just simply rubber stamp it. You have two co-equal, separate branches of government that both have a role to play. And you're right about one thing. It is about power, and the Republicans
식물이 다 죽어갑니다.
and they have a constitutional duty to exercise that power however they see fit, and that's what they're going to do here.
President Trump has already made the vacant Supreme Court seat a rallying cry for his re-election.
이거 봐요. 그냥 아예 바닥으로 누웠어.
Slogan. CNN's Ryan
죽었죠.
reports from Saturday's Trump rally in North Carolina.
President Trump making it clear to his supporters in Fayetteville, North Carolina on Saturday night that he's not going to waste any time in picking a replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court. Now, Trump did have a lot of kind things to say about the former Supreme Court Justice, calling her an inspiration, but he quickly pivoted to his plans to picking her replacement. The crowd responded, telling Trump to fill the seat and do it as soon as possible. And Trump saying for the first time on Saturday night that he plans to pick a woman. Take a listen.
바쁘게 20개만 더 하고 오늘 여기까지 마치겠습니다. 배고파. 밥을 먹어야겠어요.
Trump also revealing his timing for making that announcement, saying it should happen sometime next week, and sources telling CNN that the president plans to wait until Ginsburg has officially been laid to rest before making the official announcement. Now, in the Jewish tradition, that could happen very quickly, meaning that the president could be able to make the announcement sometimes midweek or toward the end of the week. The goal, though, for Republicans is to get this process moving as soon as possible, even with the hope of getting confirmation before Election Day. Now, that would be difficult. Normally, it takes